Now let's summarize what you've learned in all of the various separate recorded lectures. Atoms are composed of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Protons determine the element, or atomic number. Neutrons determine the isotope, or the atomic weight. Electrons determine the chemical properties of the element. There are four main types of bonds and attractions: ionic, covalent, hydrogen, and van der Waals. Now remember, there's two different kinds of covalent bonds, so there's really 5. Water is vital to life on Earth because it is a universal solvent, it carries and stores heat, it is involved with pH, and it makes buffers possible. Functional groups change the nature of the hydrocarbons that they are attached to. Now, let's remind you of what the objectives of the chapters are. They'll bear a strong resemblance to the summary. Know the parts of an atom and the characteristics of the parts. Know how changing the atomic number, or the number of protons, affects the properties of an atom. Know how the number of electrons the atom has affects the chemical properties of the atom, or the chemical reactions it is likely to be involved in and the bonds it is likely to form. Know the 5 main types of bonds, that's counting covalent bonds, non-polar and polar is separate, and know the attractions and how they affect the behavior of the molecule. Know the characteristics of water. Know how the characteristics of water affect life on Earth. Know what atoms are in hydrocarbons. Know the characteristics of hydrocarbons, and know the functional groups and how they change the characteristics of the hydrocarbons they are attached to. Now let's address how you will do the various assignments, even though you don't have chapters 2 through 4 in your textbook. For the recorded lecture questions, that's fairly straightforward because they're all based on the recorded lectures, so you'll be okay on that. The activities that we do in class will be based on this lecture, so you don't have to worry that I'm going to ask you to do something that's not covered in these recorded lectures. For the student submitted questions, or the SSQ, I want you to write questions based on these lectures. Okay, so once again, shouldn't have to go outside of this. Okay, for the definition wikis, that makes it a little more exciting, because how do you know what the bolded terms are when you're just watching this and I haven't put any bolded terms in? I will have a separate document with the terms that you'll need to do for the definitions wiki. For the reflective writing, once again, base it just on these recorded lectures. Or you can also base it on the extra videos that I will have available for you. And chapter quiz, okay, that should totally read chapter 2 through 4 quiz instead of how I've got it on here. But anyway, so here, these are going to be similar to the recorded lecture questions, only they're going to be more difficult. They're going to be more like questions that you're going to see on the exam, but once again, you won't have to go outside of these recorded lectures. Okay, hopefully you're ready to go with this information that I think is vital for understanding Chapter 5, which we will discuss in a week.